Hello, scholars. My name is Joseph H. George, and the topic of our discussion today is moving averages. I'm sure you have heard of moving average before. Today, I'm going to show you how to construct moving averages using Excel. So, what are moving averages anyway? A moving average, when we do moving averages, our goal is to forecast or to use a number of historical actual data values to generate a forecast. Yeah. So use the available historical data, generate a forecast. The forecast can be for anything. It can be for sales, it can be for demand, it can be anything of your interest, affect your company. So we use moving averages. There are a lot, those in financial field, those in the stock market, operation managers use it a lot to make forecast. For this one, we from in the context of operation management, our focus will be more on demands and sales. Okay. Note that moving averages are useful if we can assume that market demand will stay fairly steady over time. Now, we can use a 4 month moving average, 3 months moving average, 6 months moving average. So that's it will give you an idea of what the future demand of sales will be if we do it the right way. The formula we use for moving average, as the name implies, it is actually an average. So mathematically, we use this formula here, as you can see on the screen. The demand in previous periods divided by n, where n is the number of periods in the moving average. For example, it can be 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, or even years, if you like. So because we're using Excel, we're using this formula here, this Excel formula average, because it's an average for real. So let's try an example here. Look at this question. Hope you can see the screen very well. Make sure. Okay, good. It says, the storage shed cells at Donald's Garden are shown in table 1. That's actually table 1 below. Okay? You can see this cell for different months, actual cells. But Donald Garden Supply want a 3-month moving average forecast, including the forecast for next January for shared cells. See? So you have all this actual cell. They want forecast for next cells, including for the month of January. So how do we do this? First thing is to move them, put the data in Excel. I mean, you can use formula if you want, but that takes longer time. My focus today is to show you how to do it in Excel, which saves you a lot of time and actually make your life easier as a forecaster. Okay, so I'm going to put this in Excel, and I have it in Excel right now. You can see it in my Excel. See, actual cells. Hope you have seen this very well. So now let us do the moving for it. 3 months moving average you want. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 ways when you do the mathematics using Excel. And when you just use an Excel, I would say command, whichever way you prefer is good enough. Since it's for 3 months moving average, I'm gonna click on here. Actually, here because you're gonna be you had the previous 3 months. Okay, add from this because it's 3 month moving average. Add this divided by 3, and then you can move it down. So we have remember the formula we're using. Let me show you again the formula because we're using Excel. You can use equals average. Yeah, good. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So you're gonna do equal average. It will pop out from here. Double click on it. Before I do that, I want to make sure I'm seeing this. Okay, good. Double click on it, and okay, from here down, actually am. Yep, that's what it is. Then press enter key, and then you can down double click or copy them down all the way to the January that you want to estimate. If you write that, that's the moving average. You can see the cells. On the cells. Okay. So you can click on the answer, you can see what they did for each of them. 3 months, D6 to D8. This is D6 to D8. It add three months, average of three months. Okay. Now we have a moving average right here. Now, if I want to use Excel formula to do this, this is actually what I use is Excel formula. But there's another formula that Excel you can use to get it in Excel. If you want to do that, all you gotta do is to okay, go to data, click on it, click on data analysis, and you can choose moving average right here. Click OK. Okay. Now, input range is the actual data. You click on it, which is right here, the actual cells. Okay. Now, I didn't copy the labels, so I'm not gonna put the labels. Interval 3 months, you type. If it is 4 months, you type it right here, 4 months. But the guy says 3 months. If it's 4, you type 4. But we're doing 3 months, so you just type 3. And then the output range, for the output range, just select where you want it to place it, right here. The empty distance. Okay. Then click OK. Right, so give you the same thing. Now, if you want to go to all the way, because say predict for the next one, just copy it from here down. That'll give you, see, the same thing, the same answer. So that's how to do moving average. And if you're using the formula method, maybe you will be in the third moving average. Maybe you've still been May. That will then delay you, especially if you're dealing with a lot of data. Okay, so that's how we do it. And then you can see the moving average right here, the forecasts. And you can see it also right here using a different method, a different Excel formula. Okay. Now let us. Sometimes it might be asked you to draw the graph of this to compare the two of them. If you want to draw the graph, to do that, just click here, and then or anywhere. So you just to compare the two. You have click on it and click insert. See what you have charts. I use the first one to give you an empty chart. Right click on it, choose select data, and then for the first one, add is for the actual sales data, which one here. So give you the name for the under the series name, type actual sales. Okay. Then the series values, not the series values, choose numbers for the actual sales right here. Okay. But it's send here. Click OK. Now for the horizontal axis, click on edit and then select the months. Okay. Now remember we are comparing the actual sales to the moving average. So for the moving average, add the data for the series name, we'll call it a legend. You know, type the 3 months moving average. Moving average. Okay. And for the values, we select the moving averages that we have for 3 months right here, all the way to the last one. Okay. Now click OK. You can see the two of them. But we don't know which of them is the actual data or the moving average. So in that case, we need to add series titles first. I'm sorry, axis titles, Then put legend. Legend will tell us that the blue one is the actual cells and the orange one is the moving average. So you can call this maybe three times again. Months. Okay. Make sure you're seeing this. Okay, good. Then next on this title here, cells. Okay, cells. And the title, this is for what's the name of the company again? Let me see if I got the company. The company is Donner's Garden Supply. Okay, cells. Okay, can call it cells at Garden Supply. See, you can see that how the moving average is smoothing the cell. Okay, and that's how to do it. Now, there's um, sometimes we want to be more sensitive, trying to make the current month more a priority. In that case, we use what we call the weighted moving average. A weighted moving average, like I said, when a detectable trend or pattern is present, then we can assign weight, okay, to place more emphasis on the recent values or on the closer to the month where that trend is detected. So this kind of weighted moving averages method makes forecasting techniques more responsive to changes because the more recent period may be more heavily weighted. So, and remember that the choice of weight also is arbitrary, depends on the operational manager's experience or observation, or even the forecaster's observation um, of the sales or demand at that time. So in that case, for weighted moving average, we use this formula, sum of weight for period n, where period n can be months or years, times the demand. This is weight of sum of the weight of sales for period n times the demand in that period divided by the sum of the weights. Let's try an example. When we say put in this form, the formula form, it sounds complicated, but actually it's not. Okay. So let's look at this. It said, given the data on olive oil monthly sales, on the sales of monthly sales for olive oil at Walmart, forecast Walmart olive oil sales by weighing the past 3 months as follows. This is how you want it to weigh the past 3 months. With 1 is 0.15, with 2 is 0.35, so with 3 is 0.5. Like I said, this weight is arbitrary depending on the observation of the manager. And this is the data set. So again, the first thing is to put it in Excel. And I did. I have it in Excel right here. You can see it on my screen. Okay, good. So now let us do the weight. Bottom line is this. This weight times the most recent one. Sorry, most recent data times the weight plus this times the second weight plus this time the first. So the most recent data is more have more priority. So you can just click here, okay, and then start the maths, okay. So you have equal this times most recent weight plus this times the recent one plus just multiply the cells to individual weights, starting from the current one up, this times this weight. Now, because I'm going to use this weight for each of these months. So I'm going to freeze cell per month by adding dollar sign, okay, in front of the columns and the rows for each of those. So I add a dollar sign here to freeze those cells and reuse them for the many months, okay? And that's it. Then press the enter key. Then you can now, of course, drag it down. That is the weighted moving average right there. Okay? Weighted moving average. Weighted moving average. And you can actually do a simple moving average to, compare them. Let's compare them. It's a simple moving average equal average. I'll double click and then highlight. Okay, right here. Then see, you can compare them, the two, so you can see the difference. I mean, it won't tell you much here until you grab them. So let me grab this is ordinary moving average. Average. So let's use a graph to compare them, okay? So we're gonna insert chart, close this to give it a blank space. Okay, I'm gonna right click and click on select data. The first one is the weighted moving average. Weighted moving average. That's the legend. And for the data, so series values, you can just click on this and then highlight the data. Okay, and for the horizontal axis, you're gonna choose the months. Okay. Then next is to add the regular moving average. Average. And for the data, you just highlight this or the one. Okay. Then of course the actual data, actual demand, you have to need the other one too, so that you can have three graphs. Actual demand. Okay. Now you're gonna use the actual demand series. Then click OK. It will give you all the graphs, but you don't have which of them is the legend. So you can just add the element as this title. You can see the months here. Months. Okay. This one. Demands. Okay. Olive oil cells. Cells. At Walmart. Okay, by month. Now we need the legend so I can know which of them is I don't know what the blue color represents, green line and the yellow. So I'm going to just click on this and put the legend. Good. So you can see that blue one is weighted moving average. Orange one is the moving average. So you can see that the weighted one is more sensitive to the months. Then the actual demand is the green one. Okay. Okay, guys. So that's how to do it. Thank you again for listening, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.